Labor's new scheme for Jobseeker Recipients is a major overhaul of the unemployment service that will replace the current Job Active program from July 1, 2022. The new scheme, called Workforce Australia, aims to provide more tailored support and incentives for job seekers, as well as more accountability and transparency for service providers. One of the key features of Workforce Australia is the introduction of a points-based system for mutual obligations, which will replace the requirement to apply for 20 jobs per month. Under this system, job seekers will have to earn a certain number of points each month by engaging in various activities that help them find work, such as attending appointments, training courses, work experience, or volunteering. The number of points required will depend on the job seeker's circumstances, such as their age, location, skills, and barriers to employment. Another feature of Workforce Australia is the Clean Slate policy, which Labor announced as a last-minute tweak to the scheme. This policy means that job seekers who have accrued penalties or demerits under the old system will start over under the new one, giving them a fresh start and more time to adjust to the changes. Labor says this policy will provide a real incentive for job seekers to participate in the new scheme and avoid financial penalties. The new scheme also promises to offer more personalized and flexible support for job seekers, such as online and phone services, digital tools, career guidance, and mentoring. Job seekers will be able to choose their preferred service provider and change them if they are not satisfied. Service providers will be rewarded for helping job seekers find sustainable employment, rather than just placing them in any job. Labor claims that Workforce Australia will be more effective and efficient than Job Active, which has been widely criticized for being punitive, unproductive, and not fit for purpose. Labor says the new scheme will save taxpayers $1 billion over 4 years by reducing red tape and administrative costs. However, not everyone is convinced that Workforce Australia will be an improvement on Job Active. Some social service advocates have raised concerns about the lack of communication and consultation around the changes, leaving many job seekers confused and fearful about what they mean for them. They have also questioned whether the points system will be fair and transparent, and whether it will address the underlying issues of unemployment, such as low wages, insecure work, skills mismatch, and lack of opportunities. In addition to Workforce Australia, Labor has also announced a $25 per week increase to the job seeker payment from April 2022, taking it to $307 per week. This increase comes after the end of the coronavirus supplement, which temporarily boosted the payment by $150 per week during the pandemic. Labor says this increase is appropriate and fair, but some critics argue that it is still too low to lift job seekers out of poverty and hardship. The new scheme for job seeker recipients announced by the Labor Party aims to provide more support and incentives for people who are looking for work. However, it also faces some potential challenges or drawbacks that need to be considered. One of the main challenges is the cost of the scheme, which Labor estimates at $6 billion over 4 years. This would require increasing taxes or cutting spending in other areas, which could have negative impacts on the economy or public services. The government has criticized the scheme as being unaffordable and unsustainable, especially in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects on the budget. Another challenge is the eligibility criteria for the scheme, which Labor says will be based on individual circumstances and needs. This could create complexity and confusion for both job seekers and employers, who may not be clear on who qualifies for the scheme and what benefits they are entitled to. It could also create inequities and loopholes for some groups of job seekers, such as those who are disabled, older, or from disadvantaged backgrounds. A third challenge is the impact of the scheme on other welfare programs, such as JobKeeper, Youth Allowance, and Disability Allowance. The scheme could create overlaps or gaps in coverage for some job seekers, who may receive more or less support than they need or deserve. It could also create disincentives or barriers for some job seekers to participate in other programs that offer training, education, or work experience opportunities. These are some of the potential challenges or drawbacks of implementing the new scheme for job seeker recipients proposed by Labor. While the scheme has some merits and aims to address some of the issues facing unemployed Australians, it also raises some questions and concerns that need to be carefully examined and resolved.